everyone. Welcome back to She First Podcast. Today's guest is Pamela Hopkins. Hi, Pamela.
Hey, how are you doing? How are you doing, Brooke?
Thank you so much for being a guest today on my podcast.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. We've had some pretty bad weather coming through Arkansas the last 3 days, and hopefully it's all passed through. I was a little worried, though.
Yeah, definitely. So, can you tell us, our listeners, what inspired your newest released album, "Giving a Damn"? Don't go with my outfit. I couldn't even get it out.
There you go. So being an independent artist, it's easier and I guess more, I wouldn't say profitable, but it makes more sense when independent artists releases their songs as singles. And so that's what I did leading up to the album. So then I took all of the singles and re-released it into a compiled CD. So it was just basically my journey over the last year and a half. Ending with, started with Crank It Up to Crazy because, we were in the pandemic when that happened. So I released that in June of 2020 and Crank It Up to Crazy. And then I ended with One More Last Kiss was the last one that I put on my album. So it's an 8-song compilation, but it's just kind of my journey throughout that year and a half with my writing and with what was kind of going on with me and my thoughts. And we just put it all in the biggest thing was giving a damn, don't go with my outfit. Cause that's just, how you got to look at life is do you, boo.
That's true. That's true. So have you been going and doing a lot of shows promoting your new album?
Yeah, so I'm a dueling piano player by trade here in Arkansas, and then I travel a little bit doing that. So I do some military tours. I do some cruise ships, and then I work most of the time here at Willie D's in Little Rock, Arkansas. But I also have a band. So my band, we do covers, and then we also do, basically a show where it's all my music. So I do a lot of podcasts and interviews that promote my original music. But until you're able to get it out on, I guess national radio with all the labeled people, it's hard to kind of do a whole tour of it, except, with your followers. So my followers all follow it and come out to my shows and come hear my songs when my band plays. So
Nice.
I try to do what I can to tour it. Like I'm doing a gig tonight and I'll be doing some of my songs and promoting it.
Nice. So have you ever tried like reaching out to any radio stations that do country music specifically and like say, hey, can you promote my song on your radio station?
I'm on a lot of them. So, Michael Michael Stover is my PR guy. And so he has us on a lot of national radio stations, but they're still, I think, not Billboard radio stations. They're just national ones. So I have a lot of radio stations that do play my music. And then it streams, online through various online radio stations as well, even overseas. So I was number 1 on the iTunes chart for One More Last Kiss back in December. And then I think number 4 for my latest single, which is One Too Many. I've been number 1 in South Africa, number 1 in Australia.
Wow.
So yeah. My music's getting out there. It just takes time,
Yeah, it's really good. It's really, really good. Like before we
Thank
went
you.
live, I was saying that country music is really underestimated. Like people really didn't take the time to listen to country music. I'm like, it's really not that bad. Like,
no, it's actually, if you like stories, country is probably the genre for you. If you're a story type person, if you're more into, I don't know, bass bumping, obviously that's a difference. That's where I was in high school. We bump the bass, but I think each genre has its like little niche, and country is really big into partying, a lot of beer drinking and stories.
Yeah, that's true. So I wanted to ask you, what was the role of music in your earlier years? Like, did you play it when you was younger and growing up listening to music?
I did. So I always, I don't know how old you are, but this is going to probably date me. But back when I was little, there was a show called Kids Incorporated, and I would get up early on Saturday morning, so I didn't miss it. And I would watch Kids Incorporated and sing along and dance along because I guess just early on I wanted to perform. I didn't really know that. I guess I just enjoyed it. I was like, I want to do that, but never really knew how. So I didn't know how to get into that, but started playing the cello in 5th grade and went to college, learned piano a little bit in junior high school, sang in the choir in high school, and then went to college on a scholarship for orchestra and choir. And then I dropped music for a really long time because, some stuff happened and I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And dropped it for almost 20 years and got back into it about 10 years ago. And I
Wow.
started my original stuff probably 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Started writing again and putting things back out. So that had my sound on it. So that's kind of the journey. But I took a big hiatus, a big leave of absence to do other things, raise my
Wow.
family, have
Yeah.
careers. Yeah.
So what did they think about your music? Like, what do they think about your music now, your family?
I'm just mom. They do not care. Yeah, they don't. My youngest son is probably he wants to be. I think he would probably fall into a little bit of the musician category because he plays bass and he's learned guitar and he enjoys kind of singing and acting silly with music. He doesn't really take it too seriously, but he enjoys it. My daughter really wants nothing to do with it. She's like, no, thanks. They were all in band. I made them all take band. They all took piano lessons. But two of them. My oldest son, he likes the idea of music, but he doesn't really know what to do. So he's like, whatever. So, but
That's
I'm just mom. They don't get excited about, now maybe if I was actually playing on, like a billboard radio station outside of like here in Arkansas, I play on Kissin 96, I play on KASU, and some other smaller ones around the state. Kissin 96 is really big, but I'm only play on the Homegrown Country Show, which is on Sunday evenings. So to them, they're like, well, that's just my mom. They don't care. They don't care.
I'll be too excited. Be like, my mom's on the radio.
Well, yeah, you'd think like I would be too, but I think they're kind of over it.
That's funny.
They're like, that's just what my mom does. She plays music. She's played music for a while. It's not a big deal. It's just my mom.
So
So,
what do you enjoy the most about being a musician and writing music?
performing and watching people enjoy what they're hearing, and just really get into everything that I'm doing. And that just, it excites me. It makes me want to do it more. I feel like I give off a good energy, a good vibe that people connect to when I'm
Mhm.
on stage. And it's almost like how some people have to do drugs. I don't. That's my high. Like
Yeah.
I love to perform. I love to watch people get into what I'm doing and enjoying the show as I'm enjoying what I'm doing. So yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. That is. I don't know. Like, do you ever get like anxiety or freak out singing in
No,
front of all these? You know? Wow.
no,
Wow. A
not
lot.
not usually. Now I will say, if I'm at a new venue and I don't know what to expect, I kind of, and you're not used to what you're doing in that, because every venue is different. Like when I am on the stage at Willie D's as a piano player, I'm so comfortable there because it's what I do 3 nights a week, unless I book my band somewhere or unless I'm on a military tour. Um, the place we're at tonight, I've played a few times. I didn't know what to expect the first time. So it wasn't like it was nerve wracking. I just didn't know. You just don't know. You got to kind of fill it out, and I do some wineries, some solo tours on shows at wineries, and it's always a different crowd. So, until you kind of feel out what you're doing, it can be like just like an unsure thing, not really anxiety. Like I don't get scared. I don't get nervous like I used to, because it's
Yeah.
just what I do. Yeah.
maybe
It's
one
just
day
my job.
maybe one day you can come out here in Louisville. Like I live walking distance from the Derby. So like maybe one day you can come out in Louisville, Kentucky and play. Have you ever been to Louisville?
Yeah. No, I don't think I've ever been to Louisville, but I would love to go to Louisville because that's where they make the bats, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a
Louisville,
baseball fan.
Louisville's yeah, they give them out for free. So my
Oh
mom
yeah,
has a
then
few of them.
maybe I should come there and I can sign some and then give those away, auction them off.
Yeah, that would be cool. So, for my listeners who haven't listened to your music, how would you describe your music to them?
I would say it's not twangy country. It's country with a rock influence. Some of it may have a little bit of a pop influence, but I don't really think it's twangy country or what you would consider like traditional country. It's more modern country, but it's a lot of my faster songs are going to have like a rock kind of influence, or like my song "Crank It Up to Crazy." It has a little bit of a reggae influence to it. So if you listen to it, it has like a reggae kind of background to it, which I love reggae. So yeah. So I think I find my influences everywhere. So when I write and when I find songs that, I like, because I have people that do pitch songs to me, and I try to stick with more of the songs that I write than getting from somebody else, because I do write a lot. And I prefer to make the royalties on that. But if I find a really good song that I'm like, man, I really want to cut that one. I'm not above cutting it. Like, I'm like, I will make this one good, you know? So Crank It Up to Crazy, I didn't write, but it was written by Jim Femino, who wrote James Otto's Just Got Started Loving You, which was number one back in 2008. And he's a
Wow.
Billboard writer. So he recently passed last summer. And Crank It Up to Crazy and Somebody Here Is Walking are two songs that he wrote, and they're both very different, but both did really well on the charts and are just fun, great songs. So when you hear them, they're different than what I write, but they're still my style, if that makes sense. It's just, I don't have like a one style. I'm just like whatever I'm feeling. It's
So,
whatever I'm feeling.
so are you working on anything new or anything? 'Cause,
Always. Always. I've got four songs that I'm looking at going to the studio with. One's called Last Tequila Night, which we've been playing live, which is a fun kind of upbeat tempo, and it talks about the last time I drank tequila, and not me personally, but we wrote it like because I work at a bar, so I observe people, but it talks about leaving in handcuffs, and that's why it's my last tequila night.
that's,
Yeah.
that's
I've
funny.
got that one. I've got one called Burn It Down, which is about a lady who was married and she caught her husband cheating with her best friend. And so she said, before you can have my man and you can have everything. She said, you can have my man. And the lyrics are, you can have my man, but I'll be damned if you get anything of mine. So she just burns it all down, burns the house, burns everything.
Oh
It's a
wow!
story. Yeah.
Are you working on a music video for that one? Because I would like to
Uh,
see that.
yeah. Once we release it and once we release it and do I usually do a music video a few weeks after I release a song. So I just released One Too Many. And so I'll be doing a music video probably towards the end of this month, beginning of next month to go with that song. So I do that or a lyric video or I have a video put together because I want some kind of visual representation of what I've done. So it's what I try to get done every time. But, I'm busy. So sometimes it waits a little longer than it should.
That's- so for my listeners who haven't listened to your music, where can we find your music? I know on YouTube because I shared a
Yeah.
lot of your music videos. So
Right. So if you go YouTube, it's Pamela Hopkins Vivo, Vevo. I've got a Vivo channel with all of my official music videos. Then I have an artist channel that has like just kind of bar stuff, individual stuff like solo things, but aren't official music videos. So if you go to the Vivo channel, it's all the official music videos that go with my songs. You can go to iTunes, Spotify, Deezer, Pandora. I've got a channel on Pandora. So it's going to play artists like me. So if you just do Pamela Hopkins on Pandora and look at that channel, play it. It's going to play probably Miranda Lambert, Carrie Underwood. It's going to play some of them.
yeah.
You can also go to my website, which is PamelaHopkinsMusic.com. So that's HOPKINS.com. Yeah, music.com. Everybody, some people think I say Hawkins. No, it's Hopkins, like a bunny hops. Yeah. PamelaHopkinsMusic.com. And all my social media is there. So, please go in and like my social media. And if you send me a message and tell me that you heard me on She Blurb's podcast, I will respond back to you. I will follow you back.
That's
And then you got to follow Miss Brooke.
oh man, I did have a question, but I lost my train of thought when you said
I'm
that.
sorry.
No, you could. But oh yeah, have you ever thought about like creating a Twitch channel and like performing your songs on there and like getting a lot of followers from Twitch? I know
So
there's
I don't know how to do that. I'm gonna be honest with you. During the pandemic, that was one of the things I was trying to figure out. And I was doing Facebook live shows, and because our bar was closed and I wasn't performing, so I was doing it at home. So I was doing Facebook live, and I think I started a Twitch channel, but I didn't know what to do. So if you know how to do that, then I may be calling you off air and going like, walk me through this.
it is
But if
difficult.
there's a way to do it, I will certainly try. I mean, the thing is time. I spend, I'm outperforming a lot now. So I guess I could set up live and do it that way, but
Yeah.
I don't know how to really do that.
Yeah, you can have somebody like in the audience that you know how sometimes celebrities has like their friends out in the audience recording them or whatever. You can have that.
Oh, okay. Put it on the Twitch.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't Twitch is difficult to figure out. It is difficult. So I just set it up through StreamYard and I'm just like, forget it. Let them handle it.
Right. So do you do Twitch? Is your StreamYard through Twitch?
Yeah, I do Twitch
Okay.
too. I do
Okay.
all platforms, so we're streaming right now on everything.
Oh, awesome. That's
But
great.
yeah, yeah. So is there anything else you want to let my listeners know about you or
Well,
anything?
I mean, you could join my Pam Fan Club. And if you go to my website, which is, like I said, is PamelaHopkinsMusic.com, you can go to my Pam Fan Club. There are two of them. There's a free version where you get like my newest song, like a day or two early to listen to,
Mhm,
um, as well as any upcoming information about, about what I'm doing, where I'm going.
mhm,
You can also do the $3 membership. It's $3 a month, but you're going to get like a free t-shirt, you're going to get a CD, you're going to get autograph, and I'm going to mail it to you. So it actually, you're paying $36 a year, but you're getting stuff for it. It's still free. You're just paying for merch basically, but it just comes out of your account $3 a month. So you can support me that way. And that helps me create new music.
mhm,
And, you know how that goes. It just gives you a little bit of income so to put towards your music so that I can create new music.
yeah,
Because every time an artist goes in the studio, and I don't have my own studio, so every time I go in the studio, minimum for me to produce a song is going to be about $1,000. So that's without, so I have to come up with that money.
yeah,
So, it's a grand. And then by the time I promoted it and paid my PR guy and then shot a music video, you're looking at $2,500 a song. So every time I do a song, it's 2,500 bucks, and that's out of my pocket. And
wow,
with Spotify only paying 0.0002 cents per stream, uh,
yeah,
I barely get gas money to go back to get
man.
to the studio. So there you go. Yeah. So it
Spotify
is
is ripping people off.
right. Well, it's all the digital. It's just it's the way of the world. So I always tell people, it's better to just buy our merchandise that pays us a little more, and we buy that up front, so you're paying us back, and we're making a little bit of profit, or buy our CDs. That's how you support live music. When you go to a live music show, buy a CD from the artist right there. They'll sign it for you. Generally, you'll have a CD. You're getting something. They're making a little bit of money, and that goes to help fund the next project. Um, I love what I do. I feel like I put out a good product. And, I want the world to hear it. And the way that happens is people like you who interview me and get it out to your fans.
Yeah,
And I so appreciate that. But also just kind of, we want to educate people too, because we're not, as independent artists are not paid by the labels. Like, labels pay, 100 grand to get a song out. Well, I don't have 100 grand.
yeah,
So it takes something like, this going viral, or one of my songs just really taking off for it to really pay. Otherwise, it's peanuts. It's
yeah.
peanuts.
I hope so because you're a really, really, really good musician.
Thank
Like
you.
like I said, country music is really underrated. Like
Right.
it's really good. Like people should
Well,
check it
and I try to create songs that are very relatable,
out.
to everybody. So, my newest song, One Too Many, it's about that love that you broke up with, and you just, for that night, you don't want to remember anything about them because it's too painful. And so you just have one too many drinks so you can go to sleep, pass out, and deal with your hangover tomorrow. Yeah.
I like that.
Well, if we've ever been through a breakup, we all get it.
Oh man. But you sign your merch, right? Like the
I
shirts and the
do.
hoodies and stuff and
It
put
well,
them out.
if they want the shirt signed, I can. If not, I sign the CD. I mean, I just sign the CD and mail it off, and I'll put your little note in there so
Yeah.
you have something from me.
I want
Yeah.
to thank you so much, Pamela, for coming on my podcast today and talking with me, chatting with me about your music.
Thank you, Brooke, for having me. I really appreciate it.
You have a great day. Good luck.
You too. Bye, y'all.
Bye.